We're just going to start this over.
Yeah, we're going to do it.
We are going to start over. Okay. And hopefully, in I don't care.
We're going to come out smooth. It's going to be great.
I don't even care. Hello, hello, hello. It's cold outside. It is cold outside. Welcome to Coffee with Curmudgeons. Redux.
That's all right. Director's cut.
Do you hear me?
I do.
It's Jason Allen.
Hi, friends.
Otherwise known as Detective Frosty.
That's right.
The snowman.
Listen, we got a snowpocalypse coming on its way. We got gear in the truck. We're ready to roll. Don't you give me any of that lip or you don't get any cocoa. All right, how's that?
I don't think this worked very well. You want to redo it again?
Sure, let's go for it.
No, we're not going to redo it.
Half the people will be out there like, hey, why are they doing it on the loop? What's on the loop?
You know, it was Groundhog's Day the other day.
Oh.
We're missing an opportunity.
Oh, we could have done a whole Bill Murray like Groundhog's Day thing. And
could have done it. You know, we've done this enough.
Yeah.
I should do a supercut of every intro we've ever done for every show.
A supercut. I like it.
No, every single intro. Mm-hmm. That would be interesting to see just how bad it is. I haven't even had coffee yet, man.
Well, get on that.
Well, this worked. Okay, the deal is this is the first plugs out.
Yeah.
That's what we call it. This is our first plugs out test. Failure is not an option.
No.
You know what plugs out is? Have you ever heard that phrase?
No.
Plugs out? It is a NASA phrase.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just like a Hollywood version of people don't have their hairpieces on.
It's actually a NASA terminology.
Oh.
And it plugs out test means that's actually where they get the rocket all ready to go as if they were going to launch. The only thing they don't do is push the button and launch it. So it's like a dry run to the point where they're going to launch it.
Yeah.
They go through, because, they do all that.
Yeah.
NASA.
Yeah.
This was from back in the Apollo days.
Yeah.
That they had the plugs out. And, unfortunately, that was when we lost our first 3 astronauts. It was during, it was during the plugs out test.
Mm. I just had a very cathartic moment, and I just realized that most of my life has been plugs out.
Yeah. It was meant like, I guess, I don't know, like they're not linked. All the systems aren't. I don't know. Yeah. I just know that it was a NASA term, at least during the Apollo missions. The plugs out test.
Gotcha. Plugs out.
So that's what we're doing here. So we failed.
That's all right.
No, we didn't. I'm just using a new thing,
it's
new device
tool. It's
which there will be a video of later, an informational video. So and it's to make things better.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that when I unmuted the mics, after I've tested it over and over and over again, it didn't unmute my mic for some mysterious reason. I don't know why. It should have worked just fine.
We've got Foo Fighters down there. I mean, once upon a time we had like a talking little
my coffee
head toy thing that was somewhere in the studio making weird noises.
It's too cold to do this. You know what I mean?
Is it coming out in icicles? Ice cubes?
It's just too cold, man.
It is a little nippy out there.
No, it's not nippy. It's just
it's just cold.
Winter is over. Sometime. No, I'm like, and so like this thing's gonna roll in supposedly, and everyone's hoping. Let's hope it's a Portland snowpocalypse. Like, there's a dusting of. Oh my gosh, close everything down.
Yeah.
One snowflake comes down. This is what happens in Portland, by the way. One snowflake comes down.
Yeah.
It's stuck. Shut everything down. All the schools,
Right. And
I'm hoping it's going to be
all the Californians are running around with like their hair on fire, and the few of us that are natives, we're standing back and we're just kind of like, it's a dusting.
Well, here's the thing. I'm feeling as though it's not going to be that. Because why? Because people have things to do.
Mm-hmm.
I have big things to do next week. And of course, it's going to be...
That's when Mr. Murphy comes right in and decides it's going to...
Well, it's like I got the email yesterday, and I was like, oh, I was going to email.
Yeah.
We will see you on Monday if this is postponed. And it's like, yeah.
Weather permitting.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like sitting there. I was going to put the studded snow tires on.
Oh, yeah.
But I was lazy.
Oh. Well, this
is the story of my life.
Could have gone down to Schwab.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I was too lazy.
Oh, okay. For a minute there, I thought maybe you're going to get out there, hoist the jack up, I'm going to change it myself.
Oh, well, I did want to do that.
Yeah?
If I had one of those really good garage jacks,
yes,
which I realized I should have. But then that's cool. Then you get the car. Then you're like, hey, okay, we got it up now. Yeah. Well, now you got to unscrew the nuts, and then it's like, and then what you really want, you don't want this, because that's what I got. You want
right. Full Indy 500 pit crew sort of stuff. Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
But then it's like, you just now have your own garage.
Right. At that point, right. You don't need to go to less.
That's the one thing that I miss. When I was a teenager and I worked at a gas station for a little while, I had access to a full-on garage.
True.
Like, I could change my own tires. I could put tires. We had, like, this was back when you went to pump your gas. There was, like, a garage. And they would do things like change your oil.
Yep.
Well, you'd have to pay for it.
Rotate your tires.
Yeah. We fixed tires.
Yep.
We repaired tires. We put new tires on, spare tires. I got a flat out tire. Okay, we had this machine that would pull the tire off and put the tire back on.
Yeah.
We had the thing that lifted up.
The hydraulic,
And if you did it wrong, it would just, a couple thousand pounds of a car would come down on you and kill you. It was a good life. 17 years.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
No,
house flies only live a day.
Right. We outwitted them.
Too bad you died a virgin.
Fade to black. It's like...
I think that's what the guy who stuck a gun in my face and robbed me at the gas station said.
Oh, jeez. That's not good. I wonder what he's doing now.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's like leading.
So would I.
He's like leading to. He's like Tupperware parties at Pacoima.
You don't want to be in that Twilight Zone episode where I'm sitting there at a bar and it's like, yeah, back in the 80s when I went to that gas station and stuck a gun in a 17-year-old attendant and told me give him all the money and blah blah blah. It's like, oh really? Where was that? Oh really?
Yeah.
That would be a hell of a Twilight Zone episode, wouldn't it?
It would be. And the guy sitting next to you, he's like, I remember that too, except I remember it differently.
No. Yeah, that would. What? We just wrote, see, this is what we do here. This is why you come.
We create.
Hollywood steals our stuff because we're good. They're rebooting the Twilight Zone.
And each version's different, right? The guy that's did it, he's got this other version. You got the version of like, hey, all I got is $15 and a Chico stick. What are you robbing me for?
No. I mean, it's just see, Rod Serling's like, I wonder if they're not. It would be cool if on this reboot of because Jordan Peele, who I think this is a guy. Do you ever see that movie Get Out? It was very, very good.
I've never seen it, but I've heard
good movie.
Yeah,
you've heard good things.
Oh yeah, the wife
good movie
is all over that.
She said, yeah. It was Get Out was I think almost the best movie of that year, and I think it won some Academy Awards because it was kind of Twilight Zone, dark. It had all those elements of dark mystery, but also dark comedy, and there's kind of I would say a racial commentary, American to it, which is darkly comedic, I think.
Yeah.
But so he's like the showrunner of this new Twilight Zone. I might catch it on some network, but
that's like the streaming, right? They're not going to.
Yeah. It's on the streaming. You got to pay for their streaming. CBS.
I suddenly realized that they're taking all of their sci-fi shows and just streaming them.
Oh yeah,
they're saving
rebooting.
They'll do reality TV, no problem.
Yeah,
but
they do that too. But what I was going to say is for this reboot, it would be great. Two things: if it were in black and white, which they're not going to make it in black and white.
That would be awesome.
Or two, they CG Rod Serling every episode, right?
Ooh.
CG Rod Serling, black and white.
Now that would be awesome.
Because then it would be, my story would be, a man works in a bar to sit down. Tells a story of his previous young convict life when he robbed a young 17-year-old. Little does he know the man sitting next to him was there that night too. And he's just entered the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Ring the bell.
That's perfect.
Put me on the board. Ring the bell.
Can I play the guy like at the end of the bar that's like really whiffed?
Yes.
Just, like he comes out of a drunken stupor like every 20 seconds
and
says something totally random, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I told those penguins to be quiet.
Exactly.
You know, and then he comes back in a little bit later and says, Martha, they opened the bar. And then falls asleep again.
And there's and in a bar scene in the Twilight Zone, there is that character.
Yes, there always is.
There is that guy.
The down and out guy at the end of the bar.
Yeah. It's the details, because it's the Rod Serling details. You know? See, I gotta remind myself, we gotta stop doing this, because I swear to God, people are just gonna rip us off, because we have good ideas on this.
We do.
We can write. It goes to show why, when you're watching modern television or movies in 2019, which pretty much all suck. As a general rule, sorry, they just really are pretty bad.
Except for maybe the Freddie Mercury one.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Rhapsody. Yeah, I haven't seen it either, but it's very good stuff.
I mean, in general. I'm making a generalization.
Okay.
I mean, if you're not a Marvel MCU character, nobody's watching, you know.
Yeah.
And no, I'm saying in general, yes, there are good movies. You just mentioned one, the Get Out movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, but
far and few in between.
Also, with I have a problem with the whole Twilight Zone thing on the TV, because to me, it's go to Netflix. Right now,
and watch them
after, and go see the Twilight Zone with Rod Serling in black and white, and you'll see why it's the Twilight Zone. It's cool. Oh heck, you know.
I have a thing in general though against reboots. To me, that is a dirty word, because they never. I mean.
God forbid you ever work in computers.
Right, reboots.
Let's just start by rebooting that.
And that's when he lost his mind, you know.
Funny, now my 4 gigahertz gaming PC has just turned into a Barbie Hot Wheels PC from my childhood. Your kid's like, Dad, what did you do? I rebooted it.
That's right. And that's it's instead of repurposing.
Analogy.
I rebooted it. Yeah. It's going to be great. Yeah, but
I'm the J.J. Abrams of computers. We're going back. This is a prequel.
Oh, my wife scared me last night.
Oh,
I'm sitting in the recliner, off in Jason land, doing whatever Jason does at various Jason times.
Oh, here, I can do that. Okay. Look, in theory, I can do that.
Okay.
Jason Land. That worked. It actually worked.
What a magical place to be. No, I'm sitting.
But did you see how that worked? Though?
That was beautiful. Yeah. But I'm sitting in the recliner, and the wife's like, "Hey,
wait, just sitting in a recliner in Jason Lane."
That's awesome. And she says, "Hey," she says, "Hey, you."
I'm in a mood.
Oh, I was feeding you lines.
Oh,
I said, "Hey, you."
Hey, you. Sitting in a recliner in Jason Land. Oh, I can't even do it.
That is much too real. It's blowing my mind, man. No, but she says, hey, they're talking about doing a reboot to the show Lost.
Oh, God, why?
That's... exactly. That's what I said. I said, why on earth they wrapped it up? Why on earth do you want to do that?
They're on an island Mr. Cotter, Mr. Cotter, Mr. Cotter. I'm an answer, Mr. Cotter.
Yeah, right there. On a horse shack.
Mr. Cotter, they're doing a reboot to Lost so that you could be just as lost in the end as you were the first time around.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
And I heard that, and I was like, why? And then I suddenly realized, with the movie reboots and all the TV reboots and everything, that why do any of the networks hire any writers anymore? I mean, why do
in theory, if you check out the fandom, and I watch like YouTube fandom and stuff, Star Trek,
way more
Star Wars.
Creative than,
Oh, believe me. Actually, table that idea for a minute, because I'm gonna show you something really cool.
Excellent.
Online.
Excellent.
An actual thing that you can use, unlike the rest of this thing that you can't use. But if the fans are not happy, and the fans are not happy. They get characterized with a lot of things about, all this social stuff. But, there's a lot of people out there that just aren't happy at the level of writing and rebootiness and garbage and regurgitation of garbage. And frankly, I kind of think they're right.
I think I agree too.
The whole Hollywood is out of ideas. They're not out of ideas. There's tons of creative people out there or whatever. But the way Hollywood runs is that it's Wall Street. Mm-hmm. They have properties, and those are intellectual properties. Mm-hmm. Star Wars is an intellectual property. Yeah. Star Trek is an intellectual property.
Right.
Marvel.
Yeah.
Universe.
Yeah.
MCU is an Captain America. These are all things, and you got to use those.
Right.
And the best bet on Wall Street is always where's the best money, right? Ooh, Captain America, he's popular. People know Captain America. Let's do Captain America.
Right.
Spider-Man, people know Spider-Man. Let's do Spider-Man.
Right.
And so, whatever.
Yeah.
So new ideas are, and it's interesting because I think
you realize that my faith now in humanity is an all-time low because everyone wants it.
Well, then who owns all this stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
Majority of this
companies.
Is Disney.
Right.
Disney owns Star Wars.
Yep.
Which is Lucasfilm.
Yep.
Disney owns the Marvel.
Yep.
Comics and the movies. Mm-hmm. And now Disney owns Fox.
Yep.
Which is other stuff.
They own the Muppet franchise. They also, folks, they also own ABC and ESPN.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
they've owned that for a while. The Fox is the brand new merger thing that they now own. But
doesn't that break some sort of antitrust law owning Fox and ABC?
You think?
Where's Teddy Roosevelt?
You would think. Yeah, antitrust. Believe me, antitrust is not happening, especially in this current government.
In this climate?
Yeah, no. Antitrust, anti-schmust.
Right.
I mean, it's really, seriously, it's like...
Yeah, no, I hear you. I just wondered because it's like it's the same old stuff that's just rehashed. Mm-hmm. And how many times, and this is the sad thing, and I truly get sad over this. How many times has some original, young, brilliant writer or screenwriter, right, has come up with just something that would blow people's minds and would be a franchise in itself down the line, and yet they're turned away because the powers that be just don't want to expend that sort of energy to make it come to life. Why develop that? Why develop that when we can just bring out whatever franchise number 30,000? And I always wondered that because somewhere in Hollywood there's some brilliant screenwriter or writer, that has this idea about a movie or a TV show or something that would just rock people's world, right? And maybe some other time we're not going to greenlight it. We'll think about it. You come back another time, kid. And meanwhile, we're seeing just reality TV 24/7, and that bugs me. Because we're stuck with the same old, they're stuck on an island, or, hey, they're in a house for 30 days, or, hey, they've got to go around the globe finding these clues, and it's like the same old crap all the time. I'm sorry, inventing, but it's like, what happened to the cool, the sad thing, folks, is, I found myself at this late stage in life, I'm sitting there watching a network that shows TV shows from 30 and 40 years ago because, I was too young to watch them the first time around, and now they're just more interesting. Like, it blew my mind, right? I'm sitting there, and again, I'm sitting there in my recliner, and here comes a message. Show Cannon, which I love, by the way. I'm a big, huge Frank Cannon fan. And the actors in there are all like many from Godfather, right? Yeah. And it's just like, what? You have all these guys, Abe Vigoda. You got the guy who played Mo Green, And I'm just like blown away by that, because you could never do that in today's stuff. You could never.
Michael, did you get something to eat?
Right, right.
Did you tell him, Fredo?
Right.
Michael, I didn't want to tell him. I just.
Right. Yeah. And
tell me what. Tell me what, Fredo.
And meanwall, he's looking up at
the
Mo
family's
Green.
coming in to take over the casino business.
Give him the dead eye stare. It's like, I'll buy you. You don't buy me out. I buy you. And then Mike all the time is just like unflinchingly, unblinkingly looking at Mo.
Fredo, get rid of the girls.
Right. And Mo ain't gonna last long here.
What about the girls? I want you to be happy, Michael. Get rid of the girls, Fredo.
That's right. Don't you ever go against the family again.
That's this whole thing about pop culture.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be a test.
Ooh, pop culture test. And the instructor, of course, is going to be Dr. Rebecca Housel. Sure. She is going to be the professor who does this.
But it should be like
a litmus test kind
curriculum.
Ooh.
Where you would do this thing where you couldn't. Maybe we do it like Britain. We do it like the UK. They have to buy a TV license, and the money goes to the BBC. That's how they fund their public BBC television. Like if you funded PBS, but every time you bought a TV, you had to buy a license for the TV. I think they have to renew it. It's a big scam. Trust me. Yeah. I'm not really telling you that's what we should do in America, because we shouldn't. But but we could have the license, and you have to go to class. Like when you're having a baby, you should go to birthing
birthing classes.
Like, because at least guys should, because they're like, what happens next?
Right.
I know what happens before, but what happens next?
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, watch this little video, and you're like, golly, you all turn into Gomer Pyle.
Right.
Golly, I didn't know that was going to happen.
If someone was to make the video of my first child's birth, I'm sitting there holding the wife's hand, oh, give birth. It's like sitting there like, oh, okay, the magic of birth. What? You know? Yeah.
Yeah, so, you do that if you go to get your license to drive.
Yeah.
You go to like a driving school.
Fishing license. You got a fishing license.
If you buy a TV, you should have to go to a class, go to a license.
Oh.
And you'd have to, and your homework is you have to watch, The Godfather.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, well, you got to. That's a primer right there. If you can't get past The Godfather, then you're sent back to remedial.
You have to watch
TV class.
Let's say
Chips. At that point, you're back to Chips, or maybe. Well, let's throw them a bone. Maybe a little Petticoat Junction, because you want to.
Sunset Boulevard. Maybe.
Sunset Boulevard.
I don't know. Just like the top 10 or top 20 films. Maybe you would have to watch a few choice episodes of The Twilight Zone.
Yes.
Maybe if one that would have Burgess Meredith in. I've got all the time in the world. This kind of thing.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna bust his glasses. I just knew it.
Hey, no spoilers.
Sorry, it's like 50 years old, 60 years old, but no spoilers. Oh, I'm sorry.
Extra credit.
Right.
David Duchovny. Really? David? Yeah.
Sure.
For extra credit, you watch an episode of The Twilight Zone or The X-Files or Californication.
Oh, I love Californication. My favorite guy, though, was Moody.
Who'd you do for extra credit? Right. Oh, I did the David Duchovny track.
Right. If they watch any sort of reality TV, they flunk automatically. Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. I did the Abe Vigoda. Oh, so the Godfather core requirement, you already picked one off. That's right.
I majored in Vigoda.
That's right. You would have to have a TV major. Yeah. You would have to have a major and a minor with your license. So, so this is perfect. You go to Best Buy, because you go to Best Buy. One thing, I know everybody hates it. I like to walk in there every once in a while. I need to like pick up something quick and I have to have it in my hand. I don't have time for Amazon. Like, oh, I need a jump drive here for a thing and I got to do something, right? So yeah, walking to the Best Buy. They got all those TVs, right? 4K, you know.
The wall of TV, yeah.
I always like it when they have like, this is a 10-inch TV. Oh, okay. And here's a 159.9-inch, 1,000-inch television.
Double plasma.
You know, and you're like, takes up the whole wall.
Yeah.
I'll take it. But, you know, and so with that, you have to buy, you know, you have to register for your license.
Yes.
I guess you could do it online, right? But in classroom, for classroom discussion is always good.
You got to go in classroom. I mean, look at how many community centers around town that would love to see that sort of business,
perfect,
right?
too. We could set this up because you could have it at the hospital. So say you're an expecting parent.
Yes.
You're like the guy who's the expecting parent.
Yeah.
You got to go to the birthing class in the hospital.
Sure.
But you bought a brand new big TV for the partner, the wife or partner, who is pregnant and is going to watch a lot of television during the pregnancy, right? You're bringing in like the little ice cream sandwiches and you know, and here's the TV, right?
Yeah.
Maybe she's on bed rest or whatever. So you could have it right next, like at the merged, like, oh, well, I'm going to birthing class. Oh God, I just bought a new TV. I gotta go to TV class too. Oh, okay.
Right. Can you imagine you going to Best Buy to buy a TV and they're leading you into a back room? Come here, you gotta go to class. Let's go.
No, it's perfect.
Oh.
I'm okay with that.
Come here, man. Let's go to a back room. What do you mean a back room? I don't want to get... No, it's TV class. You're okay. You're okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, it would be, Who's your favorite actor? Tim Allen. Get the sock. Say that again.
Yeah. Excuse me, I did.
Tim who?
Yeah, Team Vigoda. You see, then you have, you majored, you know. What do I major in? I'm thinking maybe I would major in, Albert Finney.
I know.
Oh, that was a hard one.
That's on our list of things to do.
Maybe maybe a minor in George C. Scott.
Yeah,
because I love me some George C. Scott.
Oh, you gotta love Patton.
But you gotta have to me. I mean, the major ones. I mean, you gotta go with maybe a De Niro, maybe a Pacino.
Do you want a Patton soundbite?
Kept standing up with the flag.
Now I'm going to do that all the time. Yeah.
Were you standing overlooking the bluffs? He was like,
oh, God, that's great.
I was here once.
Yep. Oh, what a great
Alexander the Great's time. You know, it's like, okay, George.
And my trivia to the movie Patton, because it came out 70? 69?
No,
70?
I think it was like mid-70s, wasn't it?
No, I think it was earlier than that. I think it came out before The Godfather.
Ooh.
I think so. We could look it up. But the thing like that movie written by Quentin Tarantino, not directed by, but the script is by Francis Coppola for Patton. Which when you watch the movie and you hear the lines and stuff, you're like, oh yeah, this. I'm feeling it. Like if you know that going in, you're like, yeah, I'm feeling it. It's got those good, those iconic lines that iconic dialogue, like the dialogue, that you recite.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, Yeah, and you
doesn't Patton start out with him giving the speech?
Yeah, there's a giant American flag, and he comes up,
walks
up
and does a monologue.
Yeah. Gentlemen, we're embarked on a crusade. A crusade to something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, George C. Scott, But not only Patton, but you gotta go back to Dr. Strangelove,
The films of Stanley Kubrick.
Maybe
the films of Stanley Kubrick.
He majored in Kubrick, or maybe, or hey, listen, I took a cool workshop on Peter Sellers.
That's the thing. Oh yeah, that's the thing about it's like, okay, what if you just studied the films of Stanley Kubrick? They're all different.
Yeah.
I mean, you when you get down into them, then you'll see the threads of him as a director and as a creative person. You will see the same thread, But Barry Lyndon is not 2001: A Space Odyssey by a long shot. Totally different settings, different places, different things. But
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot there. I don't know. I just think, I think that would be good. And then people wouldn't want to just watch reboots or whatever.
Or reality TV. I see. I got a major axe to grind through because I think
in my world where you get the TV license, reality TV is outlawed.
Right. Ooh, I like.
The only reality TV you get is you want to do reality TV, you're on YouTube.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, you can do your reality stuff.
Yeah.
You can have your little thing and do your thing on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you're going to watch people doing just watch YouTubers.
Right.
Watch vlogs, video blogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
watch those makeup ones.
They're fabulous.
Well, these people get millions of views.
Or the cooking ones. Maybe the vegetarian cooking ones. Or maybe
if you could find a regular.
Yeah. No, but you shunt them off to like their own like streaming channel. Hey, get out of here, we're gonna move you.
Yeah.
And then we make sure, we got to get to them young, right? We need some good old...
That's what I'm saying.
We need some good old-fashioned brainwashing.
Maybe it's age restricted. Like if you're 55 and over,
hey,
you should just get a free TV with a reverse mortgage and Medicare.
How come they're showing the third man in a daycare center?
Yeah.
Well, they're starting out young. We got to get them, Orson Welles.
Orson Welles. Right. I know. I agree with you. We need a culture. We need a cultural revolution.
That's right. Curmudgeons are going to lead it.
Said no one in Cambodia.
True.
Oh God.
In
In the mid-70s. See, nobody would get that.
I don't know.
Today, I would just walk into Best Buy. See, we could teach the class.
Fields, they would know.
God! I just walk in with the TV class because you had to buy this. Like, it's some weird. I mean, it's a dystopia anyway. So this is just our dystopia, right?
Well,
I have my license. That doesn't look like your signature. You might have to go get
different
DMV.
Version. I mean, we're in a dystopia right now. This is just a slightly different color of it.
Doc and Jason walk in to give their TV culture class.
Oh, yeah.
And what does Doc say first off? Today is day 0 of your television viewing.
You see, I got to be more gruff than that.
Yeah.
I just walk in and say, everything you learned is crap, okay?
We will beat the reality TV out of you.
Right. The reality is you're about to get beaten.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I got no use.
Nothing like totalitarian communist metaphors for our little dystopian television cultural revolution.
Right.
Oh, I can think of the graphic for this show already.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. There's
the television cultural revolution. There are people, to be fair.
Yeah.
There are people on YouTube who are talking about this all the time.
Oh, sure.
Old people like us, people in the industry, and younger people too.
Yeah, we're just sick of the same cookie cutter corporate crap.
Well, I mean, it's just you want people, you want generations. Look, generations for centuries have enjoyed Mozart.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that music. Mm-hmm. And if you take your little kid to an orchestra, a live orchestra, and sit them down and go, just see what you think. Mm-hmm. Mostly, and it depends on the kid, but mostly they're going to be like, wow, what is this? What is all this? What is all this sound? Who are all these people? They're all making this sound. It's a whole different world.
First time you hear Coltrane, you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
what?
So, if you watch in a good setting, like a really good film noir that's done in black and white, because it's shades of gray, it's not color. Not that color is bad.
No.
There's beautiful color
films,
especially the early days of color.
Oh, the early like
and
real
that's what amazes me. Oh yeah, the early days of Technicolor. Those things are amazing.
The Wizard of Oz.
Oh yeah,
well, it blew people's minds. When it goes to this vivid color.
Well, there's Gone with the Wind too.
Gone with the Wind. Yeah. What's surprising?
And the Hitchcock movies that are in color are amazing. Yeah. The remaster of North by Northwest.
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Huh.
And you could sell product.
Yeah.
It's like, do you want Cary Grant's really nice blazer?
That's right.
It's very colorful. Looks good on him, doesn't he? Especially with the sunglasses on the train.
Well, we just take that as an opportunity to get into a biplane and buzz people like, no reality TV. Yeah. Like, oh, yeah. Okay.
I mean, there's a subculture.
No.
I mean, there are. And again, if you go out on YouTube and you see people, pop culture, people who are like into this, into things, you see the criticism. You see the critical eye, and it is there. I think there is a post-millennial problem with art. Now, this is a generalization.
Excellent.
You're always going to say, "Well, wait a minute. What about that movie?" Or yes. This is a generalization. But I think the problem is before the millennium, before the 21st century, scarcity dictated maybe better product. And then with abundance, maybe you get more noise and crap.
Washed out. Yeah.
But what's weird is you would think that the quality would set with the, would you say, auteur, or what, the like with Hollywood themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you would think that the people, on YouTube or whatever, they're the look at this
the
garbage.
Unwashed masses.
Look at this garbage that they're making here. Yeah. That's great. whatever. Fan, whatever.
Yeah.
And that you would go to Hollywood for the really good stuff.
Yeah.
Truth is, I think that paradigm has changed. Or it is changing.
Yeah.
Because the formula, and like these movies, blockbuster movies, like the Marvel and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, for example, they're so laden with CGI effects and all that. Yeah. And after a while, a lot of these, you can't tell one movie from the next. You really can't. It's just all a bunch of noise at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I mean,
over the top. It's over the top. It's like, well, we got your 3-layer cake. We put on an extra layer of icing, and then what we did is put on 3-layer ice cream and then extra icing, and then we poured hot fudge over it.
You've literally just described James Cameron's resume right there.
But to be fair,
I like James Cameron.
To be fair, he's actually better at it than some of these other people.
He's creative at it. And when you see stuff like, when you saw Avatar for the first time, it kind of does blow your mind. Like, wow, this is he's kind of he's introduced a whole new level of.
But he's also a guy who came from a background of non-CGI filmmaking. So some of those people kind of know, what's going on.
Well, he's got chops.
Okay, to be fair.
Yeah.
And I love the guy as a fan forever. And I think he has been a great filmmaker. But George Lucas, to be fair, I would criticize George Lucas when he went and did those Star Wars prequels, and of course they used revolutionary new CGI technology and all of that.
Right.
And when I watched those, it was like, what in the heck is going on in this screen? There's the ships, and there's this, and there's that, and there's aliens, and there's whatnot. Where do I focus my attention? Sometimes I think part of those prequels break down with that. Whereas when you watch those original Star Wars that didn't have the CGI, there were effects or whatever. Oh, I know where to focus on this ship, spaceship, on this guy, the space pirate, or whatever. And
I think that Hollywood, especially with like CGI and the special effects, it's almost like they try to bombard your senses.
Watch those MCU movies, and some of them are good. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Pretty good movie.
I enjoyed it.
But they're luckily the Marvel movies generally are driven by pretty good story and characters.
Yeah.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Is the new kind of characters that came out that not everybody knows that was breakout. But again, just like CGI. I don't know. I'm ranting here.
No. It makes.
But I do think that
I'm a curmudgeon. It makes perfect sense to me.
But I think that independent creative people can do a lot more with the technology, with filmmaking, with cameras now that they couldn't do before. Yeah. And more importantly, they can distribute it. You can put your stuff up on Vimeo or YouTube.
Right.
And you can make.
Well, I also think it's just the corporate parameters, right? When you get to that stage up in Hollywood and stuff, you have everything laid out for you, and you can't deviate from a certain recipe. So
I know it's an industry and a bureaucracy.
Yeah.
But why should any movie cost $200 million to make, or $250 million to make, $500 million to make?
Remember the hubbub over Waterworld?
Yeah.
When Costner made it, it breached the 100 million mark, and people were like, "Oh my God, you know, this is blowing people's minds. You know, if it tanks, you know, it's going to destroy Kevin Costner's career."
Well, that's the thing.
But it did. I mean, they just blew all this money on it, and the only movie.
But that's the thing. You have to make that money back and then profit and then some.
Right.
So it's like if you don't make, like if you kind of break even or make a little over break even, like in a Star Wars movie or a comic book movie, like the DC comic, the Superman, Batmans and stuff, or the Marvel
Justice League.
It's not really a success. It's not really a success if it's like, well, yeah, we made that money back and we made a profit, but, well, what's the percentage of the profit that you made?
See, that's the thing. I call that sort of economics the NFL Cincinnati Bengal economics. And let me explain that for a moment, folks. Back in the 80s, all right, the owner of the Cincinnati Bengals, okay, don't ask me his name or whatever, but he claimed for years, right, I'm losing money, right? But the NFL, when they of course, they see all this stuff, and it's like, you're not losing money, you're making money. But he's like, no, I'm losing money. And okay, explain it to me. How are you losing money when you're actually turning a profit? And here's the way they judge it, okay? Okay, here is my product. Here is what I'm forecasting to make this next year. So if I don't make that target number, I'm losing money. When you really haven't lost money, you just aren't making the profit margin that you forecasted, and I think Hollywood sometimes falls into that trap now too. Okay, we're going to sink this money and it has to make this amount of money, and even if it does turn a profit, but maybe not as much as what you think it does, well, we lost money on this, it's a wash, it's all over, whatever. But no, not really. I mean, you turned a profit, you just didn't turn a profit as much as you thought it was. And I think if you have that mindset, they're like, again, you're stuck with the same cookie cutter crap that's over and over, either reboots or whatever, and somewhere there's some brilliant young screenwriter or director or just writer himself that has something that's just totally revolutionary, right? And he just never sees the light of day because, well, we can't go there because we have to have this certain amount. And you're right, the indie stuff and with technology, it's kind of leveled a little bit of the playing field. And you're right, I think that's where the creativity. I mean, think about this also as I'm ranting along. Think of all the creative stuff now that has come out on Netflix and Amazon Prime that you would never see the light of day with if those two vehicles weren't going strong, right? Because, I mean, there's all sorts of things that like, well, yeah, I watch this on Netflix all the time. I mean, how much... I got a challenge for you, folks.
Yeah.
How many shows do you watch on Netflix, right, that you follow, you get there, you binge on them, right? You take the whole season at once versus stuff you watch on TV. What does that mean? Because everything I always hear either on social media or whatever, everyone's always talking about, oh my gosh, this series came out on Netflix, so I'm going to watch it all. I'm going to binge, 2 or 3 seasons at once. And those poor movies would have never saw the light of day under a network sort of paradigm.
Well, that's the Netflix and the
like Amazon. I mean, Marvelous. You think Marvelous Mrs. Maisel would have ever seen the light of day in any sort of network?
I still gotta, because I don't have the. I gotta figure out the
brilliant show.
I may have to do the Prime, but
yeah,
maybe it'll be after the I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
But Netflix, Amazon, they're pumping all this money into independent productions, and people are selling their wares, their original shows. Now the one that really would I got to figure out believe me, it's me. It's not them.
No, it's
Amazon
not,
would love to sell me Prime, and they remind me every time I'm there. It's like, come on. Oh, look, it's like free shipping with a free trial. It's like, guys, I don't need another thing to, they always.
My will is weak. I broke down under the spotlights and the questioning. You will get Prime. Okay.
But here's a good example. They're taking series that are successful. The other thing too is, again, with those $200 million plus movies, you have to pull in such a general audience. It's huge.
Yeah.
Huge. These things like sci-fi and all of that, maybe not the Marvel, the Avengers movies, definitely overall
macro
people. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't that big of a comic book guy, and I watched my first Avengers movie years ago. It was like, well, that was pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
And partially I think it's because of the cast too. Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Right. And then you went back and it's like, oh yeah, Captain Marvel's not bad.
I thought the Wonder Woman one was fantastic. I
still gonna watch that one. That's on my list. Yeah, I've been meaning to watch it soon.
What's her name?
It did well.
Gadot?
Yeah, it did well.
Yeah.
It did better than the problem is the movies leading up to that were like Batman and Superman and stuff which I did see were garbage. They were just horrible. They were so bad. It was like, I think that's Superman in the dark over there, wearing that dark outfit that's not blue, red, white, and blue with the cape.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. If my Batman doesn't come out and it's not Christopher Reeves and
Superman,
I mean that's what I want on Blu-ray is the original Superman and Superman 2.
Yeah.
Superman the movie.
Oh, my favorite Superman 2. Kneel before Zod. Yeah.
It's like Terrence Stamp, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, Terrence Stamp.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great actor.
Yeah, great actor, yeah.
Marlon Brando.
Yeah. You're going to go to a planet.
I'm making $1 million a minute here. Literally.
Kid, get in the shuttle.
That was, I think...
There's another million.
I think in Superman the movie, they got Marlon Brando, and he was the highest paid... That was the highest payout for making a movie.
And he was in it, 10 minutes maybe at the most?
Dino De Laurentiis.
Yes.
Well, if I remember, the original Superman was kind of filmed as the two Superman, like kind of the original and the sequel, because he's in the sequel too, Marlon Brando. But I don't think they bring him back.
Yeah, the little video thing, or when he puts in the crystal or whatever.
Yeah, they don't bring him back or whatever. Yeah. It was like, we don't need to spend another $1 million a minute on this guy who can barely remember his lines. He may have been a great actor back in his day, but...
Line, please.
Oh, yeah. Between that and Apocalypse Now, I think...
Oh, yeah.
Or was it Apocalypse Now that he got paid? I think it was Superman. It was one of those movies where
Superman,
he became the highest paid actor.
$1 million. I remember that now. It's like $1 million like a minute. Because he's like, no, I'm not going to do it. You can't make me do it. No,
they were like,
but De Laurentiis, we got to have you.
Dino De Laurentiis.
We got to have you.
But I am Dino De Laurentiis. You will be in my movie. I have a checkbook. I have a very big check. He probably. Do you think they brought like the Publishers Clearinghouse guy out? Look, Marlon Brando. It's got your name on it right here. I don't know. I have no idea what that accent is, but I'm going to say it's Dino De Laurentiis.
It's got a big, it's like the big cardboard check that you see like the winners of like golf tournaments hold up, like, hey, look at that. What?
Marlon Brando's like, what? Is there a reservation somewhere I can do this check to?
Right. What bank is this?
Yeah.
What bank takes these big of checks?
Is this the tribal bank? Do you guys take these checks?
Do I have to endorse it on the back? It's going to be a big signature.
Pay to the order of the Yakama Nation. Or whatever it was.
Right.
These are throwbacks. You have to look these up in history of pop culture.
Right.
The references when Marlon Brando won the Academy Award for Godfather. It was Godfather.
Yeah, didn't he?
It was Godfather.
Didn't he have his interpreter come up?
He did not.
The Native American woman come out and say,
from the nation,
yes,
came up and accepted the award and gave a speech about Native American rights and stuff. But which actually, to today's sensibility, But it was back in those days. It was like, oh, you have soiled Hollywood forever, Mr. Marlon Brando. Today they'd be like, yeah. Today, it would be the woman. Because she was dressed to get Marlon Brando's award.
Oh yeah,
We should look up her name.
Yeah.
On live television, of course, it's Academy Awards all live. Yeah. Today, Kanye would be beating her to the podium.
Right.
I'm just gonna say something.
He's elbowing her out of the way. Beyonce should have won that.
Yeah.
Come on. Sit down, Kanye. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Not Beyonce. It would be.
So that reminds me. What accent is Dino De Laurentiis anyway? Because he reminds me of is he? Because sometimes he comes off as like Yakov Smirnoff almost.
Well, that's just me. Because I'm sitting here being Dino. That's the confusion you're having right now.
Okay. I get it.
Don't you understand?
Understand.
You have to play Jor-El, Superman's daddy.
Be Jor-El. Breathe Jor-El. Essence of Jor-El.
Thinking about it, I'm thinking about it. I need another $1 million to think.
It's getting clearer. Okay.
7 million, Marlon. $7 million.
Right. For $15 million, I'll reenact the scene with Clemenza for you. Oh, okay.
I don't know. There's a guy on TV, $6 million man.
Conversely, some of my favorite Brando films are the kind of like the low-key ones. The Freshman. I love him in that.
Oh, that's Matthew Broderick. That's
Bruno
a good
Kirby.
one. I would love. Yeah. You know what? That's a movie that. Yeah, that's one that I haven't seen in years.
Yeah.
Charming movie.
Yeah, they're marching around with the big kimono dragon. And they had Burt Park singing it. There he is, your kimono dragon.
Yeah, Matthew Broderick and Bruno Kirby's in that one too.
Kirby.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Great movie.
Had that one on tape.
And Don Juan DeMarco.
I've seen that too.
Marlon Brando, young Johnny Depp.
That's right. Yeah.
I like it. But I like his kind of offbeat ones. The big, mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, I saw that one from the 60s with him and I don't know the name of it. Just Google it. You can find it out. Yeah. But it's a movie from the early to mid 60s that he did. It's in black and white with Yul Brynner. And it's about a German guy living in Asia who is a turncoat. Basically, he's trying to disrupt the Nazis. It's a war movie.
Yes.
And he's trying to disrupt the merchant marines. So he's a German businessman, but he goes against Germany, and they're basically shipping all this rubber out.
There's a glimmer
from Asia.
Yeah.
And Yul Brynner is the captain of the German merchant marine and they're carrying all these supplies for the German war effort during World War II.
Who doesn't love Yul Brynner?
And so Marlon Brando is a German businessman who does not believe in what's happening in Germany, as one or two German people did at the time.
Right. Yeah.
One apparently being my great grandmother, but interesting story about that. But anyway, so he's out there and he's kind of faking it as a German business representative for the Nazis or whatever, but he's actually secretly sabotaging them.
Gotcha. Okay.
It was a good movie.
I vaguely remember
and there's
something
U-boat
about that.
scenes and stuff. I think actually maybe is Yul Brynner the captain, or is he a U-boat captain? He might be a U-boat captain. I gotta look it up. I got stuff to show you.
Yeah,
anyway.
I vaguely remember something, but it's so vague that I can't remember. I know. I'm gonna need a refresher on that one.
I will tell you, it was actually critically acclaimed. Morituri is the name of the movie. Morituri. Okay. I believe it was based on a novel. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Morituri also known as the Saboteur, codename Morituri, is a 1965 film about the Allied sabotage during World War II of a German merchant ship carrying rubber, a critical product during the war. The film stars Marlon Brando, Yul Brynner, Trevor Howard, Janet Margolin, and Wally Cox.
Really?
Is in it, yep.
Wow.
Remember, he did a whole bunch. Directed by Bernard Wicki.
Wow.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty darn good movie.
Yeah, of course, we've totally not mentioned, probably one of his most iconic movies, I Could Have Been a Contender.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it kind of takes place on a boat and mutiny, and then they're trying to get away from things and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the budget was $6 million, and it made $3 million at the box office. So it was not a success.
No.
Did not do well. It was a financial disaster.
Yeah.
That's
when they were.
The New York Times criticized it for being turgid.
That's one of those things.
Excuse me. Oh wait, where's my? Here it is.
Okay. Oh, yes.
Excuse me, Jason, but I find this Marlon Brando Morituri film is turgid.
Mm-hmm. And that is a phrase.
What a word that we don't have anymore.
Turgid, you're right. Yes.
Oh.
That is a.
Kids, today's word.
I was going to do that.
Is.
Turgid.
Turgid.
But isn't that one of those words, though, when you want to come out and sound really intellectually superior, you've got to throw that word out there just because it's a stamp, right? Don't mess with me. I've got a great vocabulary. Everything is turgid,
Well, they did. The guy who said it was turgid did praise Brando's performance, though.
Oh.
So
everything else was just.
It has 71% approval on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was. Yeah. I mean, it was. Did it win any awards? Oh, it was nominated for the Oscars.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
Is that back
cinematography and costume design?
Oh.
Best black and white costume design. Best black and white cinematography, 1966. So I guess that's interesting. They separated
color from black and white. Interesting.
In the 60s. Well, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Because there were still a lot of black and white movies. I mean, The Manchurian Candidate.
Yep. And plus you had
in living color.
Yeah, and plus you had the whole what's the term? I mean, we use it all the time. Yeah. Never mind. Turgid, that's right.
Turgid.
No.
Yeah. But there's a lot of stuff. I was going to show something here, but since we're talking classic, before we say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this morning, the news that Albert Finney passed away.
Yeah.
He was 82? I want to say.
Yeah.
Great actor. Yeah. And I realize that, I have my favorite Albert Finney, but there's multiples, but I do have my top favorite.
Okay.
But he's my Scrooge. He is my Ebenezer Scrooge. So every time I think of Ebenezer Scrooge in the movie, is the movie he did, which was a musical.
Yes.
And I love that movie.
Yeah.
I love the Scrooge movie that Finney was in.
Yeah, it was good. For me, though, Scrooge
dancing on his grave, on his coffin, doing a tap dance on the coffin and everything.
Right.
I mean, to me, that Scrooge movie is that and the Willy Wonka with Gene Wilder are like, who knows, it might have been the same. It could have been, but I've always liked that one. So for me, Albert Finney was always Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yeah.
And he plays it with such gusto.
He does, he does. Actually, mine's George C. Scott Scrooge. I like that one. Though he did it in 1984. And it blows me away. But no, Albert Finney, I think one of my favorite Finney roles was when he played Hercule Poirot.
Mm-hmm. In Murder on the Orient Express.
Yes.
That was that 70s? Or 80s?
70s, I think. Or if it is 80s, it's very, very early 80s. 81, maybe.
Yes, Scrooge with Albert Finney was 1970.
Wow.
I mean, he's an interesting actor because he played in makeup and all that. And so, he was definitely a little young for the role, but they did him up in makeup. Scrooge, the 1970 British musical film adaptation. In Panavision. of Charles Dickens. Yeah. Right. Well, we know that.
I always thought Albert Finney was one of the most underrated
me too.
actors out there, because I mean, his roles, when you watch them, they're like, wow, that's brilliant. But he didn't get the press that I thought.
I forgot, and it's not because it's kind of, I saw it, I wasn't so big on it. It just kind of annoyed me. Mm-hmm. But it was huge when it came out, because it was a huge Broadway musical.
Annie?
Yeah, it was a huge Broadway musical. And then, of course, and that was when the hugest Broadway musicals would end up in Hollywood as a multi-million-dollar blockbuster movie. And so Annie came out, and for a couple of years there, it was like everything was Annie. Yeah. And of course, he played Daddy Warbucks in the film. Yeah. And it's like, he was really good in it.
He was good.
Annie kind of annoyed me. I just was kind of like, but all his roles, and I remember watching it and thinking, well, yeah, he's great as Daddy Warbucks. Yeah. I didn't even know if I knew that it was Albert Finney, or I had even, at the time I saw it, that I knew that it was the same guy who was in my favorite Scrooge movie. I don't even think I knew that at the time. But and that was 82.
Yep.
My all-time.
Yeah, what is your all-time Albert Finney?
Well, it is the Coen Brothers, Miller's Crossing.
Oh, I gotta see that. I watched it once way back in the day, and I only remember little snippets of it. And it's one of those movies that just kind of like Barton Fink, that just kind of I watched it.
I love Barton Fink,
and I just movie. I gotta watch it again.
Actually, if you're a what's his name from Roseanne?
John Goodman.
Yeah, if you're a John Goodman fan, Barton Fink is a good part of your filmography. Yeah. I mean, Barton Fink is John Turturro, who's fantastic.
Yes.
He's also in Miller's Crossing. He's fantastic. So both Barton Fink and Miller's Crossing are great John Turturro films.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not Stanley Tucci, John Turturro. Mm-hmm. But John Goodman and Barton Fink is just like, it's a John Goodman you've never seen before.
Yeah.
Much like Big Lebowski, where you're sort of like,
right.
Okay,
right. You're out of your element.
Anyway, but
I love that.
Mr. Goodwin is still here.
Yes,
we're here to talk about
Mr. Goodman,
about Albert Finney. But Miller's Crossing. It's one of my favorite Coen Brother movies. I would say that if I had to pick one Coen Brothers movie, that's the one.
That's it, huh?
I mean, you're picking what's your favorite child. Right.
True. That's Sophie's choice.
When you're picking Coen Brothers, but it has both elements of it's a Coen Brothers movie.
Yeah.
And they make fantastic movies, and B, it's a pure on their take on the gangster genre.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Gangster movie, Coen Brothers. Put those two together, bang! You've got one of my favorite movies. It's actually one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see it. I remember looking for it it was a few months ago.
The performances are amazing.
I couldn't find it. Yeah. Between.
There are scenes, and I posted a scene on Twitter.
Okay.
The Tommy gun scene, which is all Albert Finney.
Yeah.
And John Polito, great actor who passed away, I want to say 2 years ago, is in it. He's in the opening scene, and between him and Albert Finney. The movie starts out, the Coen Brothers go with the tropes, but they do it well in an artistic way. So how does Miller's Crossing open? Pretty much just like The Godfather opens. There's a desk, there's a chair. Albert Finney is at the desk in the chair.
Yeah.
And John Polito comes in, sits down, and is giving Albert Finney his troubles that he's having.
Yeah.
And what he wants Albert Finney to do, as Albert Finney's just sitting and listening to him. And it's just one of the best opening scenes. If you like gangster movies too, it's a fantastic. And why? Coen Brothers write great dialogue, great scripts, and great dialogue. So you put that all in there. And one of the things I've always appreciated about the Coen Brothers, when they do a period piece, they try to work in language from the period. They try to use phrases and things, not just like, modern, it's not like, this really sucks, man. I can't believe it.
Yeah, they put him in period costumes, but
dude,
dude,
this really sucks. No, and the whole thing is like John Polito's going, I can't get here to giving me the hi-hat, and all that, and all this, and then, well, what do you want me, So anyway.
Okay, and
he walks out, and Albert Finney says, as he's walking out the door, he goes, you're only as big as I made you.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. That's good. I like that.
And it's a great Gabriel Byrne movie.
I love Gabriel Byrne, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So Miller's Crossing, I will,
Yeah.
And that's just that's a great cast.
Yeah.
Mary Gay Hardesty, I think is her name.
Okay.
She's in, my gosh, John Turturro. But Albert Finney, it's a great movie. It's a great tour de force for Albert Finney, playing the kind of top dog Irish bootlegger.
Yeah.
Who has to deal with all sorts of problems. And it's a movie about personal betrayal. Which is always real good.
Oh, yeah. When you're dealing with mob movies, it's always personal betrayal.
Yeah, isn't that the one...
Fredo,
Yeah, you can't...
Right?
Like, say we sat down, okay, we got to pen a mob movie here.
Yeah.
Hollywood called, Jason, we need to write
a treatment, a synopsis,
our gangster movie. Okay, let's go. Okay, we got Big Paul and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then it was like... But it's like, yeah, he gets along with his brothers and his best friend.
Yeah. It's a tight family.
Yeah, they're good.
Mm-hmm.
They go out skiing once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Water skiing. Down at the Keys.
Mm-hmm.
What happens? Does anyone betray him?
No, they're pretty good.
No, they're pretty good.
Pretty good. The Easter scene is just fabulous, It's like, okay.
It's really awesome when Michael gives Fredo his favorite baseball glove.
Yes.
And a signed Babe Ruth baseball.
Right. Because Fredo was
and
hoping...
Fredo kisses him.
Yeah. He said, thank you, Michael. You've always had, my best interests at heart.
But wait. Yeah. Does Michael bring in a baseball bat later and hit Fredo over the head and split his head open and the blood gushes?
And then we're sitting there like,
nope.
Why would he do that?
No, he's his brother. They get along.
Right.
Doesn't he do something that pisses him off? No, he's pretty grateful, actually.
All right. What about Sonny? He's got to get mowed down, right? When he's got to get called out there and then the toll booth, they didn't. No,
they're pretty good. Very tight-knit mafia family.
Yeah.
Doesn't anyone get greedy and want more? No, they're all very good. They actually send thank you notes.
Yeah. The funny thing is, folks, we gave you a script. We wanted the ultimate gangster movie. And you turn the gangster movie into, it's not organized crime, it's just a family business,
Yes.
They're selling antique, he's selling olive oil, and he's doing a really good job
This is a Gilmore Girls.
Right.
The Gilmore Gang. And a special...
Photoshop, here we come. Oh, I love that. The Gilmore Gang.
Oh, my gosh.
They're on the
that was actually
a
name
Stars,
of a podcast
Stars Hollow is just,
Yeah, and
bootlegger's
it's like...
dream. It's Connecticut, so,
It's funny because you cannot have that gangster movie without
betrayal,
that infighting, that betrayal of the people closest to you.
Yep.
That's just like something you must have.
Yeah. You can't have that.
Is that Shakespeare? Is that Shakespeare? Is that where it comes from? Really? Really? I bet you it does.
Yeah, I would say so.
As a hint that maybe we should have a guest on here who can tell us about that
Shakespearean.
stuff. Doc Normal.
Anyone out there? Anyone out there?
Yeah. Hello, Doc Normal. Need to get on that after a year.
Here. We're looking at you, Stephen.
Yeah. But no, isn't it? I mean, isn't it kind of? That's kind of the Roman.
Yes, Julius Caesar.
Julius Caesar.
Et tu, Brute.
It really is.
Yeah.
Well, here's another question: isn't all mafia movies kind of Julius Caesar?
Yes.
Shakespeare.
Yeah. Yes.
Isn't it pretty much? I've always wondered that, actually. Like, at the end of the day...
Man wants power, man gets power, man gets
is betrayed by his closest
ultimate
ally.
Power corrupts and then is taken down, is betrayed by those most close. Yeah. Judas,
Oh, wait, it's not even Shakespeare. It's Jesus. It's the Bible.
Whoops. No, but no.
Which is actually very interesting because that's what they... That's what they're. That's John Polito's issue with John Turturro, who is the Jewish shyster of the movie. He's on the he's a wheeler dealer and stuff, and that's John Polito. It's very interesting because it has the multicultural, organized crime kind of East Coast thing where you have the Irish,
the Rothstein, and then the Bugs Moran, and then you got
the Italian,
right?
Well, and so it's like
you got the Capone, you got the,
and even the Dane. They have the Dane.
Ooh,
yeah,
ooh, interesting.
Oh, that's good.
Wow.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
that's multicultural gangsterism right there. I love it.
Kind of was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah.
Can we work in the Tong somewhere in there?
Oh yeah, sure.
Mysterious Tong.
Ooh, I like that.
I
like that.
Because you got to have someone inscrutable. Because they've got to match wits. But you see, the cool thing is, the top dog in the Italians and the top dog in the Tong, they actually respect each other. They're wary of each other, and they know that sometime it's going to come down to a blood feud in the streets, but they respect each other. The other ones, they move in and they take over. They got no respect for history. They got no respect for culture. You, my friend, you respect.
Wow, that was good. I feel like I was just taking a meeting at the White House.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Yes, Mr. President.
Get Manafort on the phone. You get going.
Wow.
That's Shakespearean right there, yeah.
But yeah. So I
always loved writing dialogue.
I don't know. I think we should write a mafia movie.
Yes.
Where nothing happens. It's just a happy family. It's like
it turns into a bake sale.
Come here, Fredo. There's a discrepancy in the books, and I'm looking at you. Oh no, your math is wrong. Look, you didn't carry the one. Look, it's just a clerical error.
You're right. Or even better, it's like,
let's go fishing, Fredo.
There's a problem with the books.
Yeah.
What do you mean there's a problem with the books? There was a problem with the books. You made us even a bigger profit. I love you. Like, let's go fishing.
Oh.
And they're like, wow, that's great. The Gilmore Gang, and they show up down there. And yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
We
can just rewrite The Godfather. It's like
right.
Tom goes with Abe Vigoda. They actually go bowling. It's
right. They're not going to go whack him.
Can you help me out this time, Tom? Sure. You want to go bowling? Oh, all right. I love bowling.
Yeah, they're not going to go whack him. Tom,
bowling.
he's going to take him out for dinner and do a little bowling, and then maybe show him around some assisted living places. Because Abe's getting a little up there, and yeah, I love it. I think we could. There's a lot to work with here.
The one who comes to you will be the one who betrays the family. Tessio. Somehow I just can't believe this, Tessio.
Right.
I really trust you. Okay, Michael.
Right. How do we work in Barzini, though?
I know.
Because you got to, Barzini's a pimp.
It's the end of that meeting. It's like, my son died, your son died. I'm good here.
Yeah, instead of them going through the windows, they're handing out croissants. Here you go.
End scene. Because there was the scene. There is the scene where they have the meeting.
Yeah.
The five family. The meeting.
They come together and
because they killed his son, son, and then they we both have lost.
I pledge to you.
But then, because Don Corleone says,
yeah.
We're good. We're all one happy Gilmore Girls family thing. And in the movie, the next scene, that ain't what's going to happen. It's like, okay, Tom, I want to hit them.
But it's not hitting. It turns into a potluck. Yeah. At the end, they just, I brought in my
cannoli.
Some cannoli.
Yeah, but see, when they bring you a cannoli in the freaking Godfather,
yes,
it's poisoned.
Oh, it is.
But see, not in our version. No. Not in the Gilmore Girls.
No, it took
family.
It took first place in the county fair.
Oh, this is lovely.
I love it.
I just imagine And the scary and like you're waiting for something. Right. It's like nothing ever happens.
You're looking for the hammer to drop, you know.
Reminds me of Monty Python routine.
You know, or has he been shot? We don't know, but he's in a hospital. Michael rushes there. Where is everyone? They're not there. So he's like, we gotta move them rooms, you know. And so they're like, you hear the footsteps down the hall, and he's like, oh my gosh, they're coming. They're gonna get him. They're gonna get him. And then the door opens. It's the doctor, you know. Hey, just had you check up your tests. You look good. You're not ready to go home. You're like, oh, okay, great.
The car drives by with the guys in the car. It's like he falls over, and it's like, oh, it was just a gallbladder attack. He's got to go to the hospital.
And the guys that are coming by, they're not coming there to kill. They're genuinely worried, so they're handing out flowers. You know, hey, we were worried about Don Corleone. So, oh, okay.
Oh my gosh!
Everything ends in a potluck at the end. God bless this wondrous bounty. You know, and I'm like, and then it, like, you know, slowly pulls back. You know.
Yeah.
I love that.
They'd be like going, "Where's the
Gilmore gang
action? Where's the?" Well, I mean, that's the whole brilliance of The Godfather and Coppola is you have these family set. I mean, the whole movie begins with The Godfather, the marriage and the party and this is a happy time. This is a family happy time. All set in the backdrop is the darkness and the evil and the murdering and the backstabbing and the, you know, and that's
the Luca Brasi, you know, may your child be a masculine child, you know.
Oh yeah.
But the whole thing about, you know, on your daughter's wedding day, you cannot say no. If someone comes to you, The Godfather, you got to do it, you know.
But that's the whole thing that makes that whole gangster thing work. Yeah. I mean, that was the kind of the modern gangster, because I think the old gangster movies, like the Jimmy Caddy,
number one,
Public Enemy,
The Killers.
They were a little bit more like they didn't show that as much.
No.
There was a movie I just watched, though, with Anthony Quinn that was much like this. And I watched this. Yeah, I watched this movie.
Anthony Quinn,
it was really good. And I watched it, and I said to myself, Francis Coppola watched this movie. And Quinn is you know, he's the man of the neighborhood. And he's got his sister that he's I can tell you what.
Interesting. I love. Again, I'm a sucker for Anthony Quinn. Zorba, you know, and again, I love his real offbeat movies. I love the movies that you never typically think of him as the powerhouse performance, but they're endearing. Like my favorite Anthony Quinn, right? It's Zorba, but my favorite one is the John Candy movie.
I think this is it.
Only the Lonely, where he plays the old next-door neighbor who's trying to woo John Candy's, you know, Irish mother, but she doesn't trust him because, you know, he's one of those Greek guys, you know. But his acting is just wow, it's subtle, and it's just it's awesome. And Only the Lonely.
No, it's not the Black Orchid.
John Candy, one of the Brat Packers is in there too. Ali Sheedy. And then, of course, the great
here it is.
Margaret O'Hara.
I think this is it. The Naked Street.
Or Maureen O'Hara, sorry.
Yeah, I think this is it. The Naked Street. The Naked Street is 1955 American crime noir directed by Maxwell Shane. The drama features Farley Granger, Anthony Quinn, and Anne Bancroft. Yep, that's the movie. Anne Bancroft and Farley, both young. Young Anne Bancroft. Actually, she was like 20 or something.
Wow.
When she made this movie.
Just a baby.
Early in her career. Yeah, and she plays the kid's sister. And Farley Granger is like the husband. And Anthony Quinn is the kind of the Goomba older brother who's taking care of the family, the mama.
Yes.
And so it has all the mama. They sit down and they have the pasta in the kitchen with the mama.
Of course.
Yeah, so it has all those tropes. Yeah, 1955.
Of course.
So it goes back a ways for that kind of gangster family thing. And that's a great noir movie. I have that one? I think I watched that on YouTube, dude, for free.
As a film buff, let me ask you this question. Okay.
Yeah.
When did the mafia movie, the trope and When did it modernize? When do you think it changed?
See, I don't know, because
was it once upon a time in America?
But that was after.
Was that after Godfather?
After Godfather?
That was pre-Godfather.
No, I'm certain it was after.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
great movie, by the way.
Yeah.
I do have it on the DVD.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's Sergio Leone.
Right.
And
right.
Ennio Morricone doing the music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think. See that you're asking the question that I was just kind of answering there.
Yeah.
Where that whole family trope,
right? Yeah,
like that you see in The Godfather, where it's the light and the dark, the family lightness and the darkness.
It went from adventure to I had it just in my head. It went from adventure to cultural. The family dynamic, right? Yeah.
And that was like Coppola. I think that's where The Godfather and Coppola got so much credit, because he approached it. He approached the Mario Puzo about the gangsters as a movie about
a family,
being an Italian American,
right?
Basically drawing from his own experience as an Italian American. Like, what if my family as an Italian American family, and the big family, all the traditions and all that stuff, but it happens to be the Godfather's family.
Yeah.
It happens to be the mafia.
I think the character that brings that about beautifully, and I'm sure it was written that way, was Diane Keaton. When she shows up to they show up at the wedding, and she's got all these questions.
She's the. Is it do you call it the cipher? No, that might be wrong. The character that comes in that you use to explain what's going on.
Right, yeah.
So she's the perfect, and her entrance, like you just said, is a mechanism in filmmaking, so that Michael has to explain, because Midwest America, Protestant America, who
Betty Lou
doesn't have the Italian American experience, doesn't know what the hell's going on with the marriage and all that stuff. Right. So that whole thing in the beginning of the movie, where she comes in as the as the Protestant kind of Midwestern
school marmish sort
gal
of
who is not Catholic Italian American,
right?
And then they use that as Michael explaining, like, well, here's what's going on in my family.
Yeah, why is there a line by the door? Yeah. Why does, oh, look, it's Johnny Fontaine.
Because remember, and I know this growing up in my neighborhood, is to Protestants, like a lot of Catholicism and all of that, Italian and all that can end up being really mysterious.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I grew up in like a neighborhood that was not racially integrated very much at all.
Yeah.
Very white, but it was, the trinity of the white people. It was like the Protestants who were all like Scandinavian and German and all that.
Sure.
And then the Italian Americans, Catholics, and the Irish American Catholics. So
right.
My best friends were like Irish Catholics and Italian Catholics. So it was like an interesting kind of cultural thing where it's like, what's this mystery of,
being you don't see that much on the West
Irish
Coast.
Catholic
on the East Coast, you're cheek by jowl with different.
And that's probably because it's West Coast in Portland, Oregon,
right?
The most insular,
the whitest city in America.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe us, there's actually a newspaper.
I don't want to go down that road.
No.
We do that sometime. That's fine. I just don't. There's more I want to talk about. I want to talk about Albert Finney,
right?
Because we're talking about every other actor. Albert Finney, who was not in The Godfather, but should have been.
Oh, can you imagine if Finney?
He would have been great.
Let me ask you this then: if we're talking Albert Finney here, look over the whole pantheon of the actors and characters of Puzo. What would you see a role of Finney in?
I don't know. I would think it would have to be like an Irish.
Oh.
Ooh, actually, he could. I do know who he could have played. He could have played Sterling Hayden's role, the police chief.
Oh.
He could have as a more Irish kind of a Irish dirty cop.
The brogue sort of,
He could have done nothing against Sterling Hayden.
No. But Finney.
But Albert Finney could have been him. He's a little bit young at the time to play it.
Finney?
Yeah. Sterling Hayden's a little bit older.
Yeah.
I believe that's Sterling Hayden, I believe, right?
I think so. I think you're right,
police chief.
Yeah.
A great scene in the restaurant.
Oh, I love that. Patting them down, you know.
But anyway, I think he could play that. Kind of like Connery played the cop in The Untouchables. Right. So Finney, I think, could have done something like that.
Right. The father.
He could have played him older because we saw him in Scrooge.
No, yeah.
So
kind of the father figure.
You know what
mentor.
I forgot? What movie Albert Finney was in?
Okay.
Big blockbuster movie, and actually a very good movie in the series. I give it high praise.
Okay.
Skyfall.
Really?
Yes.
He was in a Bond movie.
Yes.
Wow.
Skyfall.
Wow.
Not just a Bond movie. Probably the best Daniel Craig movie. Oh, yeah. Casino Royale was pretty darn good too.
That was not, yeah.
Casino Royale, but Skyfall was a really good movie.
Yeah, I had the jitters when they were going to do Casino Royale.
Oh, so did I.
You see the early one, and
so
it's
did
like,
I.
oh, okay,
but it was really well done.
Yeah.
Well, it's like every Bond movie, like every Bond that you have.
Yeah.
Like every actor who plays Bond.
Yeah.
They do like a handful of movies.
Yeah.
I think
George
Lazenby was the one that only played one.
Right.
But Dalton, I think, only did two.
Brosnan did like three or something, like three or four. Yeah.
I believe he did 4. Connery, I can't remember. Roger Moore did like 50, 100,
right.
50 million, 1,000. But anyway, Craig's done 4, right? And I'm just going to say, as a huge Bond fan, and I love them all, it's always, there's the ones that are like, that was not a great movie. And then there's that's a really good one.
Right.
And the ones for Craig, I think, are Casino Royale and Skyfall. Spectre.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, and then the other one, I can't even remember the name.
Albert Finney, Skyfall. What did he play in Skyfall?
He was the guy at the Bond. Remember, they go to Scotland.
Okay.
Judi Dench
and
Craig
uh-huh.
go hide out to Scotland to the Bond homestead in Scotland. And Albert Finney's like the caretaker dude.
Oh.
With the shotgun.
I don't remember that. I don't.
Go watch it again. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot that was Albert Finney. Yeah, I forgot that it was him.
Wow.
Because I was like, Skyfall, and I was like, wait a minute, what was... Oh, yeah, he was the dude
I watched that once,
at the
not too long after it came out.
Bond Farm or whatever they called... It was Skyfall.
Yeah.
What am I thinking? That's Skyfall. That's the whole point of the they go to Skyfall, and he's like... And it's like a sheep ranch in... Scotland in the hills.
Who would have known that Bond was a sheep rancher?
Well,
I'm kidding.
I don't know.
Does that end in the potluck?
There's an Albert Finney movie I need to rewatch. It's Skyfall. I haven't seen Skyfall in years. I was going back and rewatching all the Bond movies from the beginning. I happened to have had a gift like 2 years ago. So. Of the
catalog?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Blu-ray.
Oh
yeah.
Oh.
And the only one that's missing from that period is Spectre, which is I'll get it on. I'll be a completist and get it on Blu-ray eventually.
Yeah. The one I keep coming back to, and I know that we're getting off the beaten track, is From Russia with Love.
Oh yeah.
Love that movie.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that happens to be one of my favorite, like if I had to rate them, From Russia to Love is like maybe 1. At least in the 1 or 2.
It's my favorite, my favorite one.
Yeah.
At least Connery one.
Yeah.
Russia with Love.
Well, I just say overall, I'd say that one just like,
Yeah.
But yeah, he was in Skyfall.
Okay.
Here's a movie you may not have never seen.
Okay.
But I saw this once as suggested by the family, the kid. It is Albert Finney. It's a Tim Burton movie.
Mm-hmm.
Albert Finney and Ewan McGregor. Big Fish.
I love that movie.
Very good movie. It's Albert Finney. Yeah. He's the dad. Here's one I gotta go rewatch. I hadn't seen this in many years. The Soderbergh film, Aaron Brockovich.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Aaron Brockovich.
Wow, I totally forgot all about that.
Yeah. Aaron Brockovich.
He plays the gruff but lovable lawyer.
Yep.
Yeah. Takes Aaron under his wing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Changes her life.
Tom Jones.
Oh.
1963. His early stuff. One of his, I guess, his early breakout movie, 1960, Saturday Night and Sunday Morning. A British movie. Okay. Kind of a gruff, kind of a noir.
Okay.
Corpse Bride, really?
Albert Finney and
The
Corpse
Bourne
Bride.
Legacy. No, I'm just looking here.
Oh, okay.
Murder on the Orient Express.
Yeah.
That was 1974. He plays Perot.
Mm-hmm. Hercule.
Two for the Road. Audrey Hepburn and Albert Finney.
Okay.
The Bourne Ultimatum. So he's in the Bourne movies. You know, can I just say this? I have seen Bourne movies. I don't remember them that well.
Oh, I know. Matt Damon.
Yeah, Matt Damon.
He's running around in cars.
It's kind of... Yeah.
Matt Damon.
Yeah. Matt Damon. Matt Damon. I know. If it's not South Park or the friggin' train Matt Damon.
Right.
It's just
Damon.
Matt Damon.
I love the anecdote of that. They told the story once. Trey Parker.
Yeah.
So they're sitting there in some Hollywood thing, and Matt Damon's there, and they look over there, and they're worried that Matt Damon's going to come over there and just punch him out. Right? Oh my God, he's going to do it.
Oh, nice.
And so Matt Damon marches up to him, real serious looking, right? Like he's angry. And he puts out his hand, and goes, "I'm Matt Damon."
Yeah.
And when I heard that, I was like, "That's awesome." At least Damon had a sense of humor, you know.
Yeah.
Matt Damon.
Actually, Matt Damon seems to have a sense of humor, so I have nothing against Matt Damon. But he does stuff, Jimmy Kimmel stuff, and they kid around. So I mean, it's like, and here's the thing, I have zero respect for a star, a public person that can't take that kind of parody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They take themselves so seriously that how dare you, you know.
Well, I mean, granted, I could see how Saddam Hussein was kind of pissed about the South Park movie, but
yeah.
He was a bastard. But anyway, but like that, it's like, if you can't take that, I mean, you're sitting there counting your millions, you know, and you can't take and have a sense of humor about yourself. Ribbing. I mean, it's like, come on. And interestingly enough, we were talking about Brando earlier.
Yeah.
Brando had kind of a sense of humor about himself.
Did he?
I mean, he parodied. Yeah, he kind of parodied himself a little bit. Yeah, he was.
I love a good parody when guys actually.
He kind of, from apparently what I've heard, that he was like, well, he was like, he understood. Yeah.
Excellent. I dig that. That makes me like him even more now.
Well, I mean, I kind of think that people get, especially people like that who are legends. Like, some of them are like, look, I'm just a freaking actor. At some point, lay off the, let's just,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying Brando, he was a complicated guy, but I've heard that he was kind of, well, like they said on the set of The Godfather and stuff, that he would kind of joke around and whatnot with the cast. I mean, he was kind of,
he was great in the Gilmore Gang.
Yeah.
I mean, he was,
I don't know. I mean, here we're talking about Albert Finney. We're just talking about act. But anyway, so he was in Bourne stuff. Gumshoe, 1971.
Okay.
I've not seen that.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. A Good Year, 2006. Corpse Bride.
Corpse Bride.
I don't. Did I see that? Yeah, I think I did see Corpse Bride. Obviously, he would have been a voice. The one I want to see, 1983, and I think this had some nominations. The Dresser. It's a movie about, he plays an actor.
Okay.
A famous actor. I think during the war, it's a period piece.
Okay.
And his co-star is his assistant. Right. Like I saw a trailer for it. Kind of maybe a My Favorite Year kind of a vibe or something like that. The whole. Yeah. That sounds like a good movie. I think when you go through these though, and when you see his work, you're not going to be disappointed with Albert Finney.
No, he's
one of those actors. Even if the movie maybe isn't so good, he'll bring it to the movie.
You see that? I love those.
I like those actors, right?
That they do the movies that maybe just didn't get the acclaim and everything, but you watch them and it's like, yeah, that's Albert friggin' Finney right there. You know, you're always gonna get a standard with someone like that.
In a movie in 2007, I said, "Before the Devil Knows You're Dead," co-starred with Ethan Hawke and Seymour Hoffman.
Wow. Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, but now that we're sitting there talking about his body of his total body of work, he was such a dynamic actor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he did a lot of different parts that you wouldn't associate that now today's sort of typecasting.
Well, I'm just looking at the list here on Google, and it's there's a lot. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Albert Finney.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there's a lot of movies here that I have not seen.
Yeah. I'm sure I haven't.
The Duelists.
Oh.
That was in the 70s. I know that.
That wasn't like a car thing.
British historical drama.
Oh.
I know what The Duelist is. It was the directorial debut of Ridley Scott in 1977.
Ooh.
Which is weird because, I don't know, maybe he shot it in 76 because then there's Alien that came out like in 78?
Yeah, 78.
And then Blade Runner. So Ridley always like does a lot of stuff. Yeah, actually, based on The Duel by Joseph Conrad. I've heard good things about The Duelist.
Yeah.
And it's a Ridley Scott movie, so there you go. What was the...
Excellent.
Anyway. So yeah, critical reception, 92% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes for The Duelists.
There you go.
There's a movie. So there's always stuff like that where it's like there's so many movies. See, they could just stop making Hollywood movies tomorrow. It'll be okay. We could go through the back catalog.
Oh yeah,
we'll find lots of stuff to watch.
All the gems that you missed the first time.
I hate that when an old person like me goes, "You should just stop making movies on TV shows."
Right.
Got plenty to watch.
Let's go back and watch Cannon. Yeah.
Come back and watch Peter Gunn.
Right, Peter Gunn, 77 Sunset Strip, How about an old, Beatnik Route 66, Where they're going around, he's learning stuff, but he's in his vibe.
So, but the thing, so the streaming services like Prime and Netflix, they're doing their own production stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where a lot of people are selling their things.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, in the Prime news, aside from that is, Amazon Prime did a big deal with Woody Allen.
Right.
Then they had all the fallout, and this week Woody Allen's suing Amazon for like $68 million for breach of contract or whatever.
Who isn't suing?
We'll see what happens. Well, it was all that fallout from Woody Allen's personal life.
Right.
Which
they do have a point.
Yeah.
How are you going to sell a film when
that actually oftentimes comes out as breach of contract. It's like
the morals clause or whatever they have.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Like if you do something so bad,
that
it's like we can't sell your product anymore.
Right.
But I'll give you a good example here of good stuff.
Okay.
Like in sci-fi, we can talk sci-fi.
Sure.
One of the really good new sci-fi franchise or that has gone 3 seasons.
Okay.
And I think it was on the Sci-Fi cable channel. I think that's where it was.
Sci-Fi Network? Okay.
Yeah, which is kind of like, they kind of come in and do a production and then cancel it. That's kind of what they're known for. They kind of come in and, oh yeah, we did that, and we did it. But this is a new franchise. It's new to me. It was a series of books, and then they picked it up. Some showrunners picked it up, not unlike George R.R. Martin, and then the Benioff and Weiss picked that up and did the Game of Thrones stuff. So these series of books were picked up by showrunners called The Expanse.
The Expanse.
The Expanse. And it was on Sci-Fi.
Okay.
I think it made it through 3 seasons.
Okay.
And then was canceled. But there's like 6 books or 8. I've heard people read. I've never read the books.
Me either. I don't know.
But apparently they're pretty interesting, pretty good. Very, very interesting sci-fi series. The reason I bring it up is when it was canceled, there was a big, not only people who've read the books and know it, people who watched it, and I had heard so many good things. I'd seen it, constantly always heard good things about it.
Yeah.
That I actually picked it up and I binged through the seasons, and it was like, no, that was worthy sci-fi. That was good stuff. And then it got canceled, and of course, then there's a whole niche audience. They're going, we want more Expanse.
Right.
So Bezos himself announced at some meeting, business thing, Amazon status that, oh, and by the way, you know that sci-fi movie y'all like? Amazon bought it. We're gonna make the next season. Wow. So, for example, Amazon, Netflix potentially are buying out canceled shows, and sometimes for fans who like those niche shows, especially sci-fi genre television, always hope like, oh, could Amazon buy it? Could Netflix? Could we get that? And it drives maybe new customers. Yeah. So, for example, I don't have the Prime Video, but I am interested in seeing the new season of The Expanse because it was really good. I'll tell you one thing I like about The Expanse that differentiates it from other space sci-fi shows, because it's all set in space. Okay. And I've always wanted this, and I got this with Jerry Anderson stuff, like back in the day. But most of the space, like Star Wars, takes place in a galaxy far, far away. Yeah. Star Trek takes place different planets, different places.
Nebulon 5.
Most sci-fi space shows. Yeah. Gosh, even the MCU, even the Infinity Wars and stuff. It's like they're going from this planet to this realm.
Alternate.
This reality. Yeah. You know, you're going light years away, right? Yeah. Well, The Expanse is set in our solar system. Oh. There's no light speed travel or whatever. It's in the solar system. Yeah. And I've always wanted that. And so it's set like I want to say it's like a couple hundred years into our future. Yeah. Into our current future. Okay. And, you know, the solar system has been colonized. Oh. Mars has been terraformed and colonized. Ooh. The asteroid belt is actually where all the resources are mined. So there's space stations and asteroids and the moons and stuff where there's colonies of people. And that's where the whole Expanse is set. And it's very interesting. And they do some good science-y things. Not everything's perfect. You can never do perfect physics or science in a TV show, period. Right. But they at least, like, for example, in the Expanse, the people who grew up and live out in the asteroid belt or whatever can never safely come back to Earth because they grew up in low gravity. Yeah. Yeah. And they actually end up in one scene in this TV show where they torture a guy to get information out of him. Yeah. And he's what they call a belter. Because he's from the asteroid belt. Guess what they do? Well, we're just going to turn on the gravity here for you. And it's like, the guy can barely breathe and all that. It's like, well, yeah, the guy didn't grow up on one gravity on Earth. So things like that, they do really, really well. Okay. And like when they do travel in their spaceship from moon to planet or whatever, which they go really fast. They're still not traveling at light speed, but they go really fast. They have to, like, I don't know, they end up taking this drug and they have to, like, getting these belts and stuff because of the acceleration and deceleration. It's really fascinating. It's a really interesting show. Like totally multicultural, multi-gender roles. So that's another thing that people are so crazy about. And this one, it's just like, you know, everyone, you know, it's just like it's a totally multi cast. Yeah. You know, and it's a really interesting show. And pretty much it's, you know, the setting is like, you know, the people out in the belters, as they call them, in the asteroid belt. There's prospectors and there's like people literally in spaceships getting asteroids and stuff and it's going on, you know, trying to make their way. And then Mars is its own like nation state, and Mars and Earth do not get along.
Oh.
And Earth's got a lot of problems because of environmental things.
Sure.
And no resources really are on Earth anymore. So that's The Expanse.
I like that. It's appealing, yeah.
The first season is... Oh, you'll like this, too. Because the first season is basically a detective noir.
Really?
Yeah, so it's set... There's a murder... death/murder.
Yeah.
And the first season kind of surrounds this main character who's a detective.
Wow.
And he's trying to solve this out in the asteroid belt. But then it opens up into a
nice futuristic whodunit.
Yeah. It opens up into a larger political conspiracy that involves Earth, Mars.
Gotcha.
The asteroid belt,
Yeah.
the
proverbial Pandora's box. Gotcha.
And I mean, I think everybody, like every series like that, there's stuff, it kind of starts out slow or whatever, people might find it. But it's like one of those, like, anything like Star Trek, stick with it.
Yeah.
You might get into it, if you like that sort of thing.
Gotcha.
So there's an example, I think, of like
them resurrecting a show and then
and putting it on Prime.
I like it.
Show that, and I think more and more we're going to see more of that.
Yeah.
Where and the other thing is these audiences are niche. So again, we go back to we want to make this thing. Guess what it's going to cost, Jason?
Yeah.
The Gilmore family gang.
Gilmore gang.
Where no one betrays anyone.
No.
Trust me, it's going to be that it's the feel-good gangster movie of the summer.
Right.
I thought you betrayed me. No. In fact, I caught this big trout for you out fishing. Do you want it? Oh, thank you, Fredo.
Yeah, right. Oh.
It's like the Hallmark. It's as if Hallmark made a gangster movie.
That's great.
The Hallmark Channel.
Right.
That's what we want.
Maybe that's we got to pitch it to them. Maybe that's the whole thing.
We're going to pitch it to Bezos.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's take it to him.
He's going through a bad divorce. He needs a distraction.
Right.
Jeff, we've got a great idea here.
Especially with the whole National Enquirer thing going on.
Yeah, well.
It's
not like the... Look, far be it for me to defend a billionaire.
Right.
That's a weird look. But it's not like America... What is it, the name of that... Whatever the name of that National Enquirer. It's not like they're just a bunch of garbage.
Yeah, sleaze.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And they are... I'm surprised they actually... Well, maybe this one. I'm surprised they haven't gone to court. Because of the blackmail payoff bit.
It's deeper. The whole...
Oh, you mean it may reach into the echelons of our own government?
Maybe. There's that sort of tentacles that have... There's some slight overtones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading that story, and...
I didn't read it. I saw the headline.
Well, I didn't...
He basically claims blackmail.
When I say read, it's like... It's talking back to me.
Well, no.
But
I didn't even do that.
Blackmail, that they were put up to it at the behest of maybe somebody in a high place in government.
Yeah.
And
you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Like somebody who doesn't like the billionaire owner of Amazon owning the Washington Post.
Exactly. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
that doesn't surprise me.
I like Bezos. He came out and just, but he I think in this case he's too nice of a guy.
Well,
I would have if I was
time
Bezos.
Out.
No, I mean,
I
mean how he handled it. If I was Bezos, I would have walked out there and said, "This is what's going on," like he did, right? This is what's going on, yada yada yada. And I would have looked straight into the camera and I would have said, I am worth so many billions of dollars, Mr. T. I can buy and sell you 1 million times over. I'm willing to offer $50 million right now to anyone who can give me any dirt. I'll give you $100 million if it has to pertain to a certain Eastern European country.
I don't know, dude. I don't think
I would have pulled the punk card at that point. I would have said, listen, if we're going to sling mud...
Does the phrase "the Teflon president" seem to ring a bell to you? I mean, come on.
But come on. There's a certain thing to that. But then again, you don't get to be Jeff Bezos without being a certain sort of Teflon
but
yourself.
He owns the Washington Post.
That's true.
He owns the Washington, so I think you're a little out on. I think you're a little bit out on the
fringe there.
Yeah, because I just
think they'll cover him for. Yeah, okay.
I'd
be making more out of it.
I mean, I don't think I don't. I mean, I'm not defending anyone.
No.
I'm just saying that.
See, that's my knee-jerk reaction. I mean, it's just the whole Mark Cuban sort of.
There's so much, but there's so much.
But you're right.
That has been released.
Yeah.
Previous to the election. I don't want to get into politics.
No, I don't.
And everyone's like,
yeah. I hear you.
I know, and you're like, really? Okay, well, what? Jeez.
Okay.
No, I mean, this is exactly why I don't get into
politics or anything
politics, because it's just like, and yeah.
So Albert Finney.
Yeah. But that said, the reason I mentioned Jeff Bezos is because
Amazon
he actually literally made that announcement at one of their things, because maybe he's a fan of it, or whatever himself. I mean, he's a rocket guy and a sci-fi guy, so I think or maybe not. Who knows? But they, fans were like, "Great, thank you."
Yeah, and I think companies like the Amazon Prime and the Netflix, they've done a huge service for people. I mean, they've actually given just a broader, richer things. Because how many, like I've said before on the show today, how many things would have never seen the light of day?
I was going to show you. When I was excited, and I was sitting here struggling with my laptop screen for a while.
That's behind the scenes, though, folks. Yeah. Behind the scenes.
But
you'll get that in the director's cut.
Well, wouldn't you know, when I bring in some new tech and whatnot,
there's going to be
the opening. It's like, hey, didn't unmute. That's the first time.
It's a shakedown period, Yeah.
New technology.
That's right. Brand new. Brand spanking new.
There will be a video on it. Not Coffee with Curmudgeons, but what I did want to show you is something. Would you like to see something for free?
I would.
What's your best price entertainment dollar?
Wow, I think free is a very good price.
Wait. Oh, I put it.
Where's Tom?
He's there.
Okay.
Oh, here he is.
And everyone knows.
Yes.
And everyone knows free is a very good price.
Free is a very good price.
Trust Tom.
I had to move some stuff here. I'm going to be cleaning this desk off, by the way.
No,
it's been 6 months in the... Wait till I read through those books. Why are they here? Anyway, but I did want to show this before we're done.
Yes,
because I wanted to give the pro tip, super pro tip. You want to go watch, and it's sci-fi. So indie done sci-fi stuff for free here on YouTube.
Yeah.
And here's right here.
Okay.
I found this channel weeks ago. I'd never heard of it. These are independent shorts. I'm still trying to figure out who these people are. Has 500,000 subscribers. It's called Dust. Easy to remember. Dust. Go check out. Just go into YouTube, type in Dust, go to the channel Dust. Here are the videos. I subscribe to them now. I watched the sci-fi short film FTL, Faster Than Light, presented by Dust. And it's a 15-minute, 43-minute movie about a guy who makes the first human faster than light flight. The effects are top-notch, Hollywood. It's kind of like the Twilight Zone or Outer Limits. Top-notch effects. Good short stories. They're all shorts. I've watched through several of these, but not as many. There's tons of these out here. And there's interviews and stuff like that. But just go. I think the playlists they have, they'll do a trailer and then they'll post the actual short movie.
Okay.
So they have playlists here: comedy, sci-fi, artificial intelligence, sci-fi.
Wow.
There's one on here that has Doug Jones, I believe, who plays in Star Trek. He's that actor who plays all of the creatures. He was the water guy in that movie. Yeah.
The Shyamalan movie, right?
No. The whatever. The woman who falls in love with the creature from Black Lagoon.
Yeah, The Shape of Water.
Shape of Water.
That's not
Shyamalan.
Oh, who is that?
There
was another guy. Oh, Del Toro.
Yeah.
Guillermo
del Toro.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But Doug Jones.
Yeah.
He's also a character on the new Star Trek. He's like a makeup guy, but he's in stuff here. Automata. That's it. I haven't watched it. It's several episodes of Automata. Episode 1, 2, 3. I think it's like a noir about robots. Oh. But this is all like recent shorts or episodic things with top-notch effects.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. A kid with a good computer and software can make some pretty darn good effects now.
Right, yeah.
And so I don't know how they're monetizing this. I don't know how they're getting paid. And there are others out there.
Yeah.
You can just find this on YouTube. And it's free. It's like, what's the price? Free.
Well, free is a great price.
And so I see things like that that are continuing to revolutionize Hollyweird.
I think it's good. I think it's making Hollywood work for it now. They got to compete. They're no longer just the sole source, besides TV, of course. But I mean, it's cinematic stuff. I mean, I like the fact that 20th Century Fox now has got to dance for their supper now. They're.
Well, and again, so part of the argument in Hollywood with people in the industry is that, hey, that budget goes to an industry and keeps food on the table for people. True, that's true, but we also live in a technological society, and yes, the internet and things do different things, and I mean, I'm all for creative industries and for creative people, but go ask former auto workers about their jobs and whatnot. I mean, it's always cool when it's someone else's job, but when it's your job, then it's like, and this is nothing against creative people.
No,
I mean, I work in a creative industry, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's progress,
right? Right. And I think in the long run, the competition is only going to mean better shows and better content,
right?
Because you've got to deliver now. You just can't shove out the same old schlock in.
Well, I just read.
You can if it's reality TV, but I mean, other than that,
I was just reading an article about artificial intelligence, AI, right? And it's like, I think it was in Wired, actually. I believe Wired's doing a series on AI today, like what it's doing. And the article that I read was, AI is revolutionizing an industry you'd be surprised. The mixing of music.
Oh.
Yep. And I've I read this article, but I've actually been to the websites already before I read the article.
Mixing music, I can see that.
There are website. What it is it's a service. Software as a service. So you go to a website.
Yeah.
I've gone to them because I was actually curious. I think I got something in my. I always get the advertisements. And everything's like garbage, 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 like garbage, garbage, garbage. And then the one time it pops up, it's like, hey, do you want to automate mixing your music and your audio? It's like, okay, click. I'll take a look at that. That is of my interests, right?
Yeah. Wow.
And I've been to one or two of those sites. And what you do is you submit the tracks. Mostly it's for mastering. So we do a mix down and then they master and compress and tweak and all of that. But they do automated mixing.
Yeah.
The thing is that's been going on. There's been AI like that baked in, maybe not AI, but like people who use Pro Tools is used for mixing and mastering and modern day production, for example. Yeah. Well, there's the whole thing like back in the day when you'd have to buy this piece of equipment because you wanted to get this certain reverb sound or environmental sound. Well, guess what? Bring the plug-in in. Here's the preset. Yeah. Here's, so that's been kind of going on. And now they're saying eliminating the actual human factor of mixing the music.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me.
No, it does. Yeah.
And given going back to the state of art and Hollywood, given the state of music today, who cares? It doesn't matter. It doesn't. Right. I don't know if I could tell the difference if it was mixed by this one dude or the computer or HAL 9000 because it's all so highly compressed and limited and auto-tuned.
And the guys doing it are mostly going to be using that software anyway, so it's kind of redundant in a way.
Exactly.
I got a question for you.
Which, I say, the movie problem, don't ask me about music because modern music, hello.
Yeah. I got a question for you. Okay. Now this intrigues me. And I'll get to the point because there's a larger question I want to ask after the first question. Can you, for the AI, for the music mixing, now you can do it to mix the music together when it's different tracks, different parts. Can you do it like, is that what they mean by like auto-tuning that? The spur of the moment, corrective sort of voice mixing?
Well,
because there's something
auto-tune is a different thing, right?
Right.
And everyone knows what an auto-tune sounds like now, too.
Yeah, not so much anymore. It's the new generation of it is pretty kind of seamless.
Yes.
And I'll explain that in a minute because I was told something, and I checked into it, and by golly, if it isn't correct, and I don't know if I want to say it on air, because it can be kind of taken as controversial. But I mean, I'm gonna do it. This isn't a secret. It's been out there now. As you know, the rock group Kiss is on their final farewell tour.
Now I know where you're going with
this. Not
a
lot of people know, but Paul Stanley's voice is gone. It's done. I mean, it sounds like this. He'd get up and sound like that if he used to sing. But suddenly he comes out on his first show and he sounds like he did in like maybe 1984. And people are like, did he have surgery on his throat? What's going on? How is he able? And it's not full lip syncing. It's not like Britney Spears getting up there like that. But people were like, what's going on? And then other people start whispering, there's stuff out there that can generate parts of
yes.
All his. They take the entire catalog of every live show he's ever done. It pieces together almost at the molecular level, and it comes out as a fresh voice.
Yeah, no, the computing power to do that is there.
Oh yeah, and when I heard that, I'm like, at first I was like, what? And then I started thinking, well, geez, if you're paying like $200 for a ticket, are you really getting your price when some guy is...
Sorry. I say nope.
Now, I understand it was a great stage show. I didn't go to Kiss this time.
Well, wait. How do you know? Dude didn't even need to show up. How do you know he's just not a hologram?
Oh! But is it...
Ring the bell!
Is it robot Kiss guys, though? They come out, Gene Simmons here comes talking, bird der.
You know what? There is a robot metal band.
Is there?
Yeah. Touring. I saw it. They played at Dante's.
Ooh.
I think it's like one dude. It's a human singer, and then the rest of the band is robots.
Oh, that's fantastic.
They were at Dante's. I can't remember the name of them. And I was just like, I saw a video and it was like, oh yeah, this is the future.
Cool. Yeah. Oh,
I mean, come on. Our bass player plays like a robot anyway. We should just replace him.
Right. You heard the drummer from the White Stripes? Come on, she's got to be a robot. Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I believe totally that's what you can do. And what I mean by auto-tune is, yes, you can auto-tune to correct, and it doesn't
pitch
sound...
or whatever.
Yeah, and it doesn't... I mean, it is corrected, but it sounds, quote, natural.
Yeah.
But the auto-tune effect that we all know is when they tweak it to where it's that weird with an instrument.
The electronic sort of synthesized. Sort of,
like a vocoder, we used to call it back in the day.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, and most all of modern music, gosh, in this century, is often auto-tuned and tweaked to put the, our singer's a little flat. Okay, well, let's tweak that up in the mix,
But I thought this was taken to a whole new level. I mean, all they start doing, and it's literally built his voice from all the years and all the songs and everything he's done to make it sound like he did in the 80s. And I listened to it. I heard a YouTube thing of it, and he's saying, I'm like, there is no corrective surgery could make you sound like that. I mean, ask Elton John. I mean,
he's hitting the high. Well, Stanley would hit those high notes,
and he did.
Yeah.
I mean, he did it like 1984 Animalize up there,
Yeah.
And I'm like, I call shenanigans, But,
yeah.
Hey, if people want to go, whatever, it's cool.
You'd think that they'd take some of that AI computing power that they'd have, and make Gene Simmons less ugly.
Ooh.
Gene Simmons.
Right. I'm thinking like
this is Gene Simmons of Kiss.
Couldn't they like super?
I'm Gene Simmons.
Right.
Gene Simmons.
Right.
Gene Simmons of Kiss.
And I'm going to sell you something. I'm going to sell you a lot of things.
I'm going to sell you. Do you have your Kiss water bottle? I'm Gene Simmons of Kiss. Do you have your Kiss coffee mug? Do you have your Kiss, Jason?
Yes.
Gene Simmons of Kiss.
Hey, Gene, how you doing? Wow, this is
Jason.
cool. Yeah, Gene, yeah.
Do you have your Kiss Army floor mats for your car?
No, I don't, Gene. Tell me more.
What kind of fan are you, Jason? This is Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons of Kiss. Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
Gene Simmons of Kiss says you need a Kiss Army floor mats for your car, Jason.
Gene, okay, I'm right on it.
Do you understand, Jason?
I do, Gene. I do. Thank you.
How about your kids, Jason?
Yeah.
Little kids, do they have Gene Simmons Kiss Army onesies?
Well, they're a little too old for that, Gene. They do have the...
They need jammies.
Well...
Your kids have to wear jammies. Otherwise... This is Gene Simmons of Kiss. I raised a few kids.
I'll talk to him, Gene.
Otherwise, your kids are running around in their underwear.
Yeah.
Like little scrawny, like...
Are they Kiss underwear?
Dust Bowl kind of kids. I was born during the Dust Bowl.
Dust Bowl.
I'm 83 years old.
Right.
I'm Gene Simmons of Kiss.
I love it,
Kiss
Gene.
jammies with the footies.
Yes. Gene, easy, yeah.
What about macaroni and cheese?
Yeah, I do have Simmons brand macaroni and cheese.
Do you?
Yes, I do. In fact, it's very cheesy, just like the latest '80s.
Each
Kiss
one
albums,
of the pieces of
cheesy.
pasta is one of the members of Kiss.
I love it.
There's a star. That's Paul Stanley's pasta.
Oh, Kiss pasta.
There's a big tongue. That's me, Gene Simmons of Kiss.
Yeah.
What else do you need? We have every product.
Every product.
Every single product in your house can be replaced by a
in fact,
Kiss Army product.
In fact, Jason,
so
we can
says
replace
Gene
you.
Simmons, me, Gene Simmons of Kiss.
In fact, Jason, we can replace you with the Kiss version of Jason. Wow.
What are you kids watching tonight? Are they watching the...
Missy is calling.
Ask them if they're watching the Kiss cartoon. I'm hoping your kids are watching the Kiss cartoon while they're eating their Kiss cereal. That's because I'm Gene Simmons of Kiss.
Missy.
Gene Simmons. I know he does. He
I
does.
swear my mouth is now stuck like this.
Are you not stuck in? You're gonna be stuck like that for the whole weekend.
I'm gonna go. Anyway, I'm gonna go to Safeway. Do you have Kiss macaroni and cheese? My friend Gene Simmons says I should get it.
Right, Gene told me to.
Gene Simmons of Kiss.
Gene told me to.
That was my horrible impression of Gene Simmons.
Right.
Anyway.
But pretty spot on, actually.
Anyway.
Missy.
We gotta go.
Who
Missy is calling.
Who is that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Missy is calling.
Oh, Missy's calling.
Yes.
Okay. It's not like she doesn't know like we're
Missy.
on the air at the moment.
Well, we gotta go, right?
Sure.
This was the article I was referring to. It was from May in Wired. More artists are writing songs in the key of AI. But anyway.
Yeah.
I assure you, Gene Simmons of KISS does not use AI. That's my real tongue.
Oh,
because I'm Gene Simmons of KISS.
He's had so much face work done.
Anyway, oh my word.
And think of where
you know
we
what I
started.
think I'm going to do tonight? I'm going to call my mom. This is Gene Simmons of KISS.
Yeah.
How are you?
Who? Doc, what do you want?
Who?
Dude, Gene
Simmons
of KISS.
Of KISS.
You know, calling Dr. Love?
Yes.
You know? Oh, okay. The God of Thunder?
Do you have calling Dr. Love floor mats in your car? Gene Simmons of KISS.
Right.
Oh.
It's the whole calling Dr. Love medical supply line, you know?
I know now how I'm going to call into your special Anarchy Radio special flyer. You'll get a phone call. This is Gene Simmons of KISS. Wishing you a happy anniversary.
That's right. Happy reunion.
Do you have a KISS Army floor mats? You need to buy that. $14.95 at AutoZone.
Oh, yeah. AutoZone. That's all your better retailers.
Of KISS.
I love it.
Oh. That's really bad.
It's pretty realistic, though, if you think about it.
Well, it is. I mean, the truth is in the parody, really. I mean,
and most people are like, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, man, this may not be a joke. This actually may be Gene Simmons.
I guarantee you that you will find the floor mats. I'm sure you can.
There are KISS floor mats. Yeah. There are, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ring the bell. Put it up on the board. Okay.
Oh, sure.
Get me those steak knives.
Ooh, KISS steak knives. KISS cutlery. Welcome to the KISS cutlery set.
Do you know what you need to sell KISS merchandise? A pair of brass balls. Oh, Glenn Ross as done by KISS. We're going to leave it there because, Jason, you've got to go.
I got to go.
This is Gene Simmons saying, Jason has to go. So, let me cue up the freaking open.
It was good right up.
Let me cue up the outro.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Gene.
Gene Simmons says you're welcome.
Gene Simmons signing off.
Okay. Signing off. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye.
Oh. Good night, everyone. Have a good weekend. We'll see you again next week.